Hi, this is Dr. Portia, and I wanted to come to you with a pretty vulnerable video today. I am a professor, I am a keynote speaker, and I'm going to talk about something that people probably don't believe I struggle with. So, this video is for people who aren't believed when they tell people that they struggle with self-sabotage or imposter syndrome, or people just tell them to get over it. This can be really hard. So I'm overcoming my own story and just kind of recording a play-by-play for you in real time so that I can be vulnerable with you and show you how I'm walking through it while I'm still in the situation. Deep breaths. This requires me to be brave because I realize now I couldn't have raced this process. It had to take the time that it did. And it's really important for me not to just turn the struggle into content because that can be really unsafe. I have to focus on my own healing first. For some reason, today was the day to finally start to let you in. So without further ado, the focus of today's video is self-sabotage. Self-sabotage wants you to play small until nothing is left. It starts with something small, a little story that starts to undermine something that you're actually capable of. It tells you that you can't do it perfectly, first as a whisper. Then it builds up into a pretty respectable yell saying, "Why don't you just stop? Why are you even trying?" It has a pretty impressive, sophisticated takeover plan. In my life, here are some of the areas that it's affected: cleaning, cooking, writing, videos, relationships, career goals. It has shown me that it can't stop, won't stop. It is always thinking of new ways to speed up. It really needs my attention and my healing, but it can't just come out and ask for that using its words. So it focuses on something really simple: avoiding pain. I have to remember it's just trying to protect me. The doubt and the fear, yes, it is trying to protect pain, but it overreacts. And rather than saying it's hurting me, it's saying, this is going to kill me. This is the worst thing ever. Cognitive distortions. Cognitive distortions don't reflect reality. So I've learned that I have to overcome this temptation to isolate myself in this unrealistic story by building common humanity. And I'm building common humanity by talking to you about this today, because there's probably somebody out there who, like me, is struggling with something and trying to figure out, how do I afford to keep going? Where am I going to find that strength, that energy? Or why don't I just quit? You have to use worry about this problem as a catalyst for action. You're going to take accountability to do something about this because you can't afford to let it destroy you. You have to start with accepting that everything, even the doubt and your fear, is exactly as it should be. It's just what it is, because this is how you're going to have to move forward and own what you feel. You're going to focus on healing rather than fixing. So that means rather than trying to control the situation, we are going to bring all of ourselves together. The part that's struggling, the part that we are used to doing this well in the past, we don't understand why we're struggling, all of that is needed. Sometimes we want to lean so hard into this, what was I good at? I'll just go do that. And we abandon that part of us that is feeling the fear or feeling the doubt. No, you want to have that with you. It's a part of you. And that takes time to accept. Take a deep breath. We're conditioned by society to believe that everything has to be fast and that we have to have it all together. What I want you to do is to focus on the process and not the outcome. I want you to think about having a spirit of exploration rather than expectation. A great metaphor that I have for this is kintsugi. This is a Japanese art of taking a broken bowl and, rather than disposing of it, filling the cracks with gold or some other substance. It makes beauty of our flaws. So rather than hiding them, our healing becomes the light that shines through and allows us to celebrate all of ourselves. So in the name of this, I'm going to share one of the cracks in my life, a story that took on a life of its own and convinced me to play small. It's an example of how self-sabotage crept into my life and how I'm finally taking steps to crawl out. Hopefully, both you and I will see the light of healing shine through as I emerge on the other side. That's what we're going for, fingers crossed. Today, I felt this gentle nudge and started to do something that I've never done before, script a video. I know. How can I have given 2 TEDx talks, be a professor, give keynotes all the time to hundreds of people if I don't script videos? Well, I was used to going off the top of my head, and I just couldn't accept that you had to slow down long enough to capture, organize, and prioritize your thoughts. I thought I should just be able to do this. I also know that my comfort zone is having other people as a part of my process. People who were there as I wrote and practiced my TED Talks. They could affirm that something was good. I had an audience to listen and give feedback to my talks. I could adjust to the energy in the room. When I record my own videos, I'm all alone, and the inner voice just creeps in. I can't tune it out by focusing on the people that I'm helping or the people that are helping me. Scripting means that I have to stop hustling through the shortcuts and relying on my natural talents. If this takes too much time, maybe I'm saying and doing too much. Maybe I need to focus and be more selective. That feels too hard, is what my inner critic said. Safe is easy. Safe is being good at everything. This feels unsafe and risky. And if it's hard, there's a potential that you'll fail. That inner voice wants to protect me, and it has a lot of different strategies to keep me from doing anything that is going to cause me pain. So today, I decided that I would start scripting. I had about maybe 4 or 8 lines of content. I figured, yep, that's enough to keep me on target. So I decided to go over to my webcam to record. The audio, I forgot how much the audio on my webcam from my laptop actually sucks. So I realized I need my camera. I need this Sony CV1 that's been hiding in the shadows forever. And this is when I remembered it's been a year since I've done something I used to enjoy. Record videos online. It used to be something fun to do on Saturdays as I recovered from the stress of the week. I would get on camera and share something that I had learned recently with all of this excitement because I knew that I could use my gift to share with people in an accessible way. But while I love doing keynotes in front of people, something about having to learn video and audio actually terrifies me because I feel this self-imposed pressure to be great at it. I know that I'm not going to start off great. At first I tried. I made webcam videos while I waited and saved for a year to buy a camera. I wanted to be sure I was serious. I did way too much research during that time, so I was convinced that this camera was the only thing keeping me from doing really great videos. Once I finally bought it, I thought I was ready to go to the next level. One problem. I was so overwhelmed by all of the details of working a camera and recording video. I had bought all of the accessories. I had a green screen, I had a cam link, I didn't even know what that was, and I had a tripod, and yet, when I saw other people, I felt so behind. How was I possibly going to keep up with them? So I continued to do videos on my phone, but after a while, I felt overwhelmed because it felt like everyone was leveling up except for me. I felt lost, so I just stopped. I put the camera away safely and far out of sight so I wouldn't have to see it and feel shame every day. Well, recently I've been struggling with this calling to show up big in my life, and it is forcing me to see how I'm taking refuge in playing small. I'm learning how to move forward. And so what I'm going to do right now is a live reaction video as I went through something today that I've been avoiding for years. I hope that it's going to help you as a metaphor for doing hard things. I'm using this specific challenge because I know that overcoming it is going to help me with my struggles. And of course, I did something weird to the teleprompter, and I'm not even kidding you. It is recording backwards and upside down, which I absolutely can't have, and I don't even know how to pause this camera. This is so terrible. I'll be back in a moment. This hurts so bad because it's already not perfect, and I hate that, but I told you this is an honest metaphor for doing hard things in my life, so I'm going to do hard things. Breathing. I'm using this specific challenge because I know that overcoming it is going to give me courage to face other scary monsters in my life that I'm not yet ready to talk about. But setting up my camera, I knew this was something hard but tangible. I know that I can set up this camera, but for some reason, I feel terrified. And I realize there's a story in that. I want to be good at everything that I do. So all of the step-by-step guides are making me nervous. They're so complicated and most of them are videos. I am nervous at the idea of even having to watch somebody walk through the steps. Well, my story is I should already be good at this. And if they can't help me, it's only going to reinforce my worst case scenario that this is impossible. So the action I have to take now, deep breaths. I find a video with positive comments and people talking about how easy this made it for them. So I think this is going to be easy. It's not, but it is helpful. I find this video by Philip Lemoyne, hope I'm pronouncing that right, and it's called The Best Sony ZV-1 Settings and Tutorial for the Best Quality Video. It was shot this year, so I have some hope that the camera is still relevant. Yay! So my next story is, I don't have all of the accessories that he has. That's okay. My action is to focus on what I do have. At this point, I need more deep breaths, more courage. So I watched the video and I soon realized that I don't have capacity to learn from others because I'm not willing to slow down. And I'm figuring this out because each time I have to pause to watch again and understand what he's saying, I want to go faster. But going faster means relying on myself, and I don't have the information here. So I am going to hit pause every 2 seconds to catch up with the instructions. This is humbling. I realized that, however, I can find common humanity by remembering there's other people that find this intimidating as well, and many of us just give up and don't try anymore. So in the first couple of minutes, I have the first 2 settings down: file format and record setting. Okay, that's not awful. I don't need to know why he selected XAVCS 4K and 24p 100M. If it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. I'm making progress. I'm better at this than I was 2 seconds ago. But here pops in my inner critic. What if I get to a point where I can't do anymore? Deep breath. Remind yourself, well, you did this and that's better than nothing. We can always quit later if we have to. I like having that quit card in my back pocket. Okay, for now. So I kept up with this video for about 10 minutes. Then I needed a break. I was tired of constantly watching and hitting play again to figure out what I was doing. Plus, I had 2 batteries for my camera and neither one of them had been charged in 2 years. So they needed more time, and that meant I was constantly swapping dead batteries in and out of my camera. So then I figured, okay, maybe I can watch the entire video first to get a better handle of where it's going. Okay. So far, I know how to set custom buttons. Didn't even know that that existed before. I'm not sure if the ones that he chose were the best options for me, but at least now I know that I can change them. So at this point, from past experience, I definitely know that I want one for USB streaming because it was always a pain to find before. But at this moment, I'm just gonna go ahead and go with his settings. And like I said, I didn't even know this existed. So at least now I have proof that I've learned how to do something. So I decide I'm just gonna watch the video all the way through and see where he's going. So overwhelming. Watching this video is like watching a shared language between photographers, and I'm just a clueless interloper. I need more deep breaths, and I'm just gonna keep selecting his settings all the way through. I remind myself, anything is better than where you began. And then I think about this quote from Pema Chodron: feel the feelings, drop the story. Yes, I feel stressed, but I don't need this whole story about how I can't do this. That's not helpful. I remember now the stories that chased me out of doing video recordings. I heard a lot of people say, hey, you have to be great at this. You can't afford to put out bad videos. This is bad for your brand. That was a lot of pressure. I bet if I hadn't stopped recording, I probably would be really good by now. And I figured now that I've gone a year of not recording, if that's the case, how am I continuing to get subscribers in a year where I've posted no videos? Someone out there is tolerant of my mediocrity, if that's what it means they need to go through to get to my content. They know that my heart is good, even if my video skills aren't. I'm here for those people, and clearly they are here for me. We are gonna grow together. So anyway, back to the story. At this time, I've been multitasking and I'm looking up teleprompter options online because I figured they must have gotten better in the past 2 years. And there's probably something I can use here so that I don't have to go off of the top of my head and constantly be scrolling down a document while I'm recording. So I start looking at options and I realize I'm hungry. This is gonna have to wait an hour or so. So take a break. This gives me time to think about why I've been struggling. What is the story behind this experience? I honestly believed that I was never going to get better at this. And even if I did, it was never going to be enough. So I know now I'm already better because I'm willing to struggle. In this time, I think I'm charging my batteries, and I find out they didn't charge at all. My curiosity is starting to help me to nurture cognitive flexibility. I am thinking about other options besides the worst case scenario. What else can I do? So I look up how to charge my camera using the computer. 10 minutes later, I'm looking for the AC adapter that they're referring to, and I keep coming across micro USB cords in my camera box. I look through all the ports and I realize, wait, that's actually all I need. Now I can finish watching the video and finally make all of the settings. I'm grateful because I created this box to put all of my camera stuff in, because remember, I needed to hide it so I couldn't be shamed by it constantly. Well, it's got all of these accessories in it, and it's kind of like a time capsule from a foreign land, and I don't know what anything does. But little by little, I'm starting to figure this out. I realize I'm tired at this point and I probably won't go much further. So I try to tell myself, hey, I know you had a lot of expectations for today, and if all you do is make it through this video today, that is okay. So I am starting to celebrate small wins. I finally realized how to charge my battery properly. It probably took me 15 minutes to get through 3 minutes of this guy's video, but I haven't quit yet. This is just reality. This is what it takes sometimes. People think I didn't learn quickly, I'm not good enough. And it's like, well, no, but you're probably gonna be measured by your persistence and willingness to keep going and not give up. It is okay for learning to take time. So I finally got through his video and yay, I decided that I'm gonna tape something. That's when I realized my battery's in the wrong position. Again. Patience before progress. Okay, fine. Let's just learn how to do the teleprompter. Let's learn how to charge the battery. Let's make a list of the problems that I'm having. So I need to learn how to replace the battery on my tripod. I start playing around with the camera, and I run into playback video that I had of myself from 2 years ago. I have to tell you, I'm pretty jealous of the little girl because she's sitting there taping this sweet little video of a meditation, and she has figured out how to use that charger. I am mad at past me from 2 years ago. This is not productive. Deep breath. Okay, what's going right? My battery is charging, and I've learned how to use my computer to keep the camera going while the other battery charges. And I now have my tripod working, so I can hit record from the tripod. And so I settle down and I put the teleprompter together. Then I realize the teleprompter is not in my camera, so I'm gonna have to look off screen. But there you have it. I put all of those steps together. I have now done something that I felt like I could not do so that I can get better from here. And I have recorded this imperfect video to show you that even I, yes, I, human, have to struggle with things, have to do things that I'm not good at. Thank you for your patience as I told this story. I hope that it serves as a metaphor as you realize it's not just about putting in a video and doing something super quickly. It might take you hours, but in that process, you're actually learning how to do things, and that's really important. And you're getting out of this narrative of, I can't do things because I can't do it perfectly. So I hope this was encouraging to you. I hope for myself that I stick around and get better at this, especially the teleprompter part. I have a long way to go. I have to figure out my lighting, but I figured out how to record here on my comfy little couch, which is what I prefer, and I am going to figure out how to do this my way. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you learned something about yourself from the lessons that I shared in this video, and I would love to hear what you learned. Go ahead and comment below. Have a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.